Today I will share with you a story of my enlightenment or liberation, or at the very least, a story, a profound experience that I had when I was in the United States in a Buddhist forest monastery. I was raking leaves, as we usually do in the afternoon, or in the morning time, I should say, because we had chores to do. We can't just, live for free. We had to do certain chores for the monastery. And that day's chore was for me to rake these leaves on this road. And I was raking these leaves, and my mind was feeling very peaceful. And even 2 days before I was raking these leaves, I wrote down something in my notebook saying, in 2 days' time I will realize something, I will reach something, I will attain to something. So 2 days have passed and I'm raking these leaves. My mind is feeling very peaceful, and I pull this massive bundle of leaves. And as I pull it to one side, this big beetle bug was shocked. It was startled because I had just destroyed its habitat. And I could see it running for cover, terrified. I could see the fear in its body. And after seeing that traumatized me. I realized that I had just been that cause of this little animal's suffering. I'm causing it a great deal of distress. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to contribute to this any longer. I'm not going to continue doing this. I put the rake down on the floor. And then I thought to myself, if the monks come and start telling me that I have to do this, I'm going to say I'm not going to do this anymore. You have to give me a new job. I'm not going to contribute to the suffering of these animals, however small they may be. And with that intention, I looked behind me and I saw that there's a rock, there's a big boulder that I could sit on. Naturally, that's where I wanted to sit. My mind was being more and more peaceful, sinking down. And so that's exactly what I did. I sat down on this rock. I crossed my legs, I closed my eyes, and I began to meditate. And just as if this was a movie play, and right on cue, the two men behind me that were also doing their chores, they started talking about the unconditioned, the birthless, ageless, and deathless element of the existence, or nirvana, emptiness, the thing that is 99% of the physical existence, or the entire universe, is emptiness, nothingness, not born, not going anywhere, not dying, permanence, Shiva. So as they started talking about this in the background behind me, this led my mind down towards that state, towards that dimension. And suddenly, for the first time, I saw that the entire universe is the foundation of this emptiness. This emptiness is the foundation for all of the physical matter that is being held together. And it's creating this mirage, this illusion of solidity and structure and things. As this was happening, a sudden thought or feeling arose. I guess my mind wanted to test my state of mind. So I visualized and imagined what it would feel like, what it would be like if a mushroom cloud emerged a couple of miles away from me, and if certain death was guaranteed. I was guaranteed to die in a matter of seconds as this mushroom cloud came closer towards me and vaporized me, and if a nuclear explosion went off. And as I thought this to myself, I could very clearly visualize if this would happen. I realized that if I were to die at this very moment, I would just sink into this emptiness. My body would, of course, disintegrate, my mind would disintegrate, but who I am or who I am not, or my heart or something within me, I would just become a part of this. and that would be the end of suffering. I was very happy and pleased about that thought. Following that, just a few seconds had gone by. I thought to myself, well, if the Buddha was right about this, that there is a deathless, there is nirvana, then maybe I should close my eyes and investigate other things that he said about how the mind and body are formed or made. In this state of mind that I was in, I could clearly see that anything that I would turn my attention to, I would see. And of course, naturally, I wouldn't turn it towards seeing how butter was made or something silly like that. I would turn to the ultimate thing that needs to be seen as a human being. And that is, what is this? What is this made out of? So that's exactly what I did. Having my legs still crossed. My legs are still crossed, and I'm sitting down and I closed my eyes. And as I closed my eyes, I could see the formation of my mind and my body. I could see that this person, this physical being that I am, was nothing other than the six senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. I could see that there are objects out there, or there are objects that come in contact with these six sense bases, and they give rise to an experience. And that's all that there is. That's all that who I am. That's all that who you are. So I could see that there is a visible object. It comes in contact with the eye base, the eyes, eyeballs, and it creates the experience of seeing. And like this for the other 5 or 6. 6. But more fundamentally, or more importantly, I saw that there are thinking objects, there are thoughts as objects, and they come in contact with the mind base, and they give rise to the experience of thinking. And this experience of thinking is what gives the illusion that I am thinking, or this is who I am. But that's incorrect, that's wrong. Just as if it would be wrong for you to say that when you smell something, you are the object that you smell. If you smell a pleasant or an unpleasant smell, it's just a smell that's coming in contact with your nose, and it gives rise to the experience of smelling. And of course, experience is impermanent, it's constantly changing. You can't say that a constantly changing, morphing and molding experience is you or yours, who you are. That's wrong. When I opened my eyes and I looked at other individuals, I could very clearly see that the body is like a machine. It is a machine. The body is a machine. The body and mind and how it is formed, how it is constituted, that there is a body, and in this body there are feelings, and things come in contact with your mind that creates the impressions and perception. And you have thoughts and ideas and everything that's happening in your mind. Those are the mental formations. And behind all of this is consciousness that creates this experience. So these 5 aggregates, as the Buddha said, this is what the human body is. I can clearly see this. And finally it was time to go back for lunch, which I was very happy about. And we walked into the hall, and there was this woman there, and that I've seen many, many times. She was helping out with the monastery, and I could see her for the first time that she was these 5 aggregates. She was this machine, a biological machine, and she was saying things like, "Oh, I am, and I am this, and or I'm doing that," and I was holding in my laughter because for the first time, I could see that this word I and how people use the word I is so silly, it's so ridiculous, it's so not true. You You are not I. I almost wanted to share this with her, like, hey, you are a robot, you are a machine. And as I got this feeling, I thought to myself that this would be as fruitful as walking up to a toaster, or walking up to, let's say, a smarter machine like Siri or this Google Home or Alexa, and saying to her, hey, do you know that you're just a component of parts, and you have these memories and information, and you're not actually you're just a machine, you're just a conglomerate of parts. Well, that's exactly the same reaction as a human being would have if I were to share this insight with them. After that, my life, of course, was never the same. My life permanently changed. I could never go back to seeing things the way that I saw them. And a huge chain has been broken. I'm assuming for millions of years that I was inhabiting this universe in various different forms that I was in. This illusion of I, or this illusion of separateness, was plaguing me, but not any longer. So that's it. That's all that I had to share with you. And I had spoken with some people about this, and the Buddha categorized enlightenment into 4 parts. And from what I understand, this was stream entry. First glimpse of the deathless.